Passed since the Phils launched this 2016 baseball campaign from the banks of the Ohio in Cincinnati. 11 road trips to 17 different cities. And they prepare for the 81st and final road test as Turner Field counts down its last moments. Well, tonight the Phillies will say goodbye to the Atlanta Braves and to the road. The Braves are saying goodbye to some of their fans with a little bit of a fan fest before the start of tonight's ball game. Some Phils fans getting a chance to settle in on a very comfortable night for baseball here at Turner Field. It's the final game of this three-game series and game number 81 on the road for the Phils. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Matt Stairs. One last time wearing the jackets and ties. You're looking sharp. Nice combination to wrap up the road season. All right, so this Phillies road trip has not been good. 1-5. Pete McCadden said, man, if we would have won one more game, that extra inning game in New York, maybe it looks a little different. But the run total that the opposition's put together, that doesn't look different at all. Yeah, and it's tough to win some games where they've got blown out. Offensively, they've actually swung the bat very well. 263 average. They've hit 8 home runs. Now, all of a sudden, it's the two lines below that. Starting ERA with a 7.24. 13.50 out of the bullpen. Listen, they've allowed 63 runs in 6 games. The last time that happened for a Phillies team was in 1937. So you know they're not getting the job done with the bullpen right now or the starting rotation. And 2 of the veterans had a team meeting last night, players-only meeting. Pete McCadden talked about A.J. Ellis and Ryan Howard's meeting and said it's nice to see somebody cares. It's good. It's a good thing. And what the 2 veterans said last night in that team meeting said, hey, listen, we got 4 games left. You got to put it all on the table in these 4 games. Tonight will be Jeremy Hellickson's final start of the 2016 season. And when you take a look at it, it has been a solid year for the veteran. He's been very good. I mean, he's a guy that starts off throwing fastballs the first of the year, and all of a sudden he finds his changeup. Well, this game versus the Miami Marlins, his changeup was unbelievable. He had good movement with his fastball, but the key for him is to be down in the zone and keep the hitters guessing. Keep them off balance, keep them out in front of each ball, each fastball, curveball, changeup, whatever he throws. But really, this game, his changeup looked like it was going to get halfway and just stop. These hitters were going out there, and this is going through the number 1 guys through their middle of their order, and just way out in front of the changeup. So he had a really good tempo, and he threw very well that game. Shockingly, as he gets this final out against the Miami Marlins, shockingly, this is only his second shutout, second complete game of his career. It's remarkable to think with his kind of stuff that he has not had one before this. But Mike Franco puts it away right here. So he has 12 wins coming into tonight's ballgame. He has a chance to match his career high in wins. He had 13 in 2011. This season is a lot like that year with the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's also hovering around 200 innings. If he has a long outing tonight, he can also pass his career best in innings thrown for Jeremy Hellickson. We'll see if he does it tonight against these Atlanta Braves. Phil's in desperate need of a win to wrap up their road schedule. He will be opposed by Josh Colmenter, his former teammate with the Arizona Diamondbacks. When we return, we'll go to the CSN studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. better results than what he's seen over the last several days. Let's take a look at his lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So Tommy Joseph gets the start over at first base instead of Ryan Howard. But Ryan will play the 3 games at Citizens Bank Park when the Phillies return home tomorrow night. Maikel Franco bats 5th. Cody Ashley gets another start in left field. Peter Borges still out, with his wife giving birth to their second child earlier this week. And A.J. Ellis, who caught Jeremy Hellickson when he threw his complete game against the Marlins, is back behind the plate again. They'll face Josh Colmenter, the veteran over from the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. Matt, he's 3-0 overall with an ERA of 4.19. He's been good, though, for the Braves in just the 2 starts that he has made so far.
Well, he has been good. The reason why he's been able to throw strikes. Now, he does have 16 walks, but he's not an overpowering guy, so he needs to nibble sometimes. Take a look at the scouting report. 65% of the pitches he throws is cutters. And I mentioned he's not overpowering. He will top out at 86. 83 to 86 is what he lives on. He has a good changeup and an overhand curveball.
Well, as he wraps up his warm-up tosses, he's getting set to face Cesar Hernandez, Freddie Galvis, and Odubel Herrera. Let's take a look at the Nissan keys to the game.
Well, you have to stay back versus Colmenter. He's got that little different delivery. Doesn't throw real hard. Really concentrate on staying back. And 2, play like you're playing in a playoff race. Concentration. No more sloppy play like they've had this road trip so far. He's got to turn it around for the last 4 games.
Have to turn it around.
You know, I gave the scouting report. He said he throws an overhand curveball. How else is he going to throw it? I meant to say 12 to 6 curveball.
You mean he doesn't go underhand at all?
No, he throws an overhand curveball, not submarine.
Here's Cesar Hernandez to lead it off. Cesar 7 for 20 on this road trip, and the first pitch of the night is in there. Colmenter surprising everybody by throwing over the top. No balls and 1 strike. 72 degrees here in Atlanta, Georgia. That's right. We're getting closer to fall. You know, when we head home, it's supposed to be cool back home. No balls and 2 strikes. I mean, not Fredericton cool, but cool. Cesar takes low. Cesar 4 for 5 with a couple doubles against Colmenter. Off-speed pitch, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies jumped out to a 6-0 lead in game 1, and when the rains came, they put the bullpen out there after the rains. Took Jared Eichhoff out, and they wound up losing that ball game. And then last night, they just weren't in the game from the get-go. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Malik Smith playing center tonight. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Shari Warowitz of Cherry Hill. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Shari will win $200. McDonald's mix and match any 2 for just $2.50 on McDonald's McPick 2 menu. Freddie 0 for 1 lifetime against Colmenter, hitting .241, 20 home runs, 67 runs batted in. And he fouls the first pitch back to the screen. Freddie's numbers on the road this year, not too shabby, a .267 average. Pulls that one to the right side. 2 outs here in the top of the first, and that will bring Odubel Herrera to the plate.
See what I mean by you have to try to see a few pitches, try to get his timing down, get that arm angle, because he is straight iron Mike, right over the top.
Yeah, anybody that pop quarters into a batting cage machine, you've seen that iron Mike. Basically comes over the top, that metal apparatus. Odubel shows bunt, 0-1. 164 hits this year for Odubel Herrera. That's tops on the Phil's ball club.
Your approach versus a guy that throws this soft, you almost have to think about getting jammed. It'll just remind yourself to stay back see the ball, you know he's not going to blow the heater past you.
He definitely is not going to blow the heater past you.
And if he does, got a slow bat today.
Cole Munter lifetime is a better than 500 pitcher, 38 and 33. D-backs essentially used him out of the bullpen this year before he was let go. Talk about a franchise that was beyond disappointed with what they accomplished here in 2016. 66 and 92 going into action tonight. That one's hit back toward the middle, but right into the shift. A 1-2-3 top of the first for Josh Cole Munter. On to the bottom of the first inning. Jeremy Hellickson getting set to make his final start with the Phils this year. Trying to finish again strong here in 2016, and why not? They've won 21 of the last 34 games. Here's his lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. They moved Smith up to the leadoff spot. Now, they said he was going to play all three outfield positions during this series, so tonight he moves over to center field. Freddie Freeman has a 30-game hit streak and a 46-game on-base streak. It's been an incredible run for the Braves first baseman, and Rio Ruiz makes the start over third against Jeremy Hellickson, 12 and 10 with an ERA of 3.78. Matt, if you go across his numbers going back to 2011, excuse me, when he won 13 games, this is a very similar year. There are a few numbers, though, that are even better this year than that season when he won 13 games.
Yeah, with the strikeouts, he has a chance to match his 13th win on the year. I like the innings pitched, 185.2 inning this year. Very nice. Again, Jeremy Hellickson is not overpowering. He does throw 4 pitches. He still has that tremendous changeup from the first day we saw him to the last start of the season. It's been a very good pitch, and it's a pitch that he can throw when he needs to get out of trouble.
And this may be his final start in a Phillies uniform. I mean, a lot will depend on the offseason, on whether Jeremy gets another offer from somebody else, whether the Phillies make a qualifying offer to him. 1 ball and no strikes. I think they'd like to have him back, though, because he's been a nice piece, foundation piece to this young rotation. Alex Smith is 2 for 7 so far in this series. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Can't believe he's taken 2 pitches and he hasn't tried to bunt yet. And what a great weapon he has to be able to drag bunt towards second base.
Well, they talked in the papers today about the coaching staff being happy that he's taking advantage of the opportunities, and bunting was a big part of that because he is so quick. Check swing. And he went, says the third base umpire, 2-2.
Yep.
Back toward the box, flag down by the former Gold Glover, 1 away. Tonight's ball game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. And here is Dansby Swanson, 2 for 7 in the series. By the way, just to kind of explain the qualifying offers and what that means, the value of the qualifying offer is determined by averaging the top 125 player salaries from this past year, from 2016. And it's in the neighborhood of $17 million. So if the Phillies offered him a qualifying offer and he does not accept it, then the Phillies will get a draft choice for him leaving if he does sign somewhere else. No balls, 1 strike to Swanson. That ball's hit well out to center field. Odubel Herrera's there, though. Two outs. Here's Freddie Freeman. Well, Murph, this guy has had himself one heck of a month, but really, it's a couple of months that he's put together.
One heck of a season, I think you could say, when it's all said and done, Tom. He got off to a slow start, we all know that. But take a look at the rarefied company that he is in now. How about having a 30-game hit streak, which you mentioned earlier, in a season that you've hit 30 home runs? He is just the 9th player in Major League Baseball history to do that. You take a look back, it was done here. Dan Uggla did it back in 2011. In fact, he has the longest hit streak for the Atlanta Braves with 33. You look at some of the other names, Chase Utley's on that list, Albert Pujols, Joe DiMaggio on that list as well. Freddie Freeman's had that kind of season, and being right in the middle of this Braves lineup, he certainly has had an impact. I talked to Kevin Seitzer, their hitting coach, yesterday, and he just smiles when talking about Freddie Freeman. The impact that Matt Kemp has had late in the season, we've talked about that, but he said with a big smile on his face, look, I've got Freddie Freeman in the middle of this lineup. That's the most important guy in this lineup. He's the guy that makes everybody else relax around him, and that's the kind of year he's had. That's the kind of player he has become in Major League Baseball, guys.
And Freddie Freeman has talked over the last couple of days about this hit streak, and he doesn't mind talking about it. He said, I don't know, I can't explain it. I just try to hit the ball hard. And I'm fortunate that as the games have gone on, that I've been able to pick up a hit like last night, late in the game, the line drive single. 2 balls and 1 strike to Freeman. And he fouls it off A.J. Ellis, and it's 2-2.
And you know, Tom, one other point when you talk about a guy like Freddie Freeman and hit streaks, I mean, if you look at his numbers, I don't have them in front of me, but I've seen them against righties and lefties. He's not a guy that struggles against, either one. And in order to have a hit streak of 30 plus, you've got to be a guy that can either be a switch hitter or a guy that can hit against both righties and lefties. And Freddie Freeman certainly is a guy that can do that.
Did you look at George Sisler? 2 times had a hitting streak of 34 or better. That one is pulled down the right field line, and it's foul. Yeah, the count remains 2-2. Well, he's got the 30-game hit streak. He's got the 46-game on-base streak, which matches Jason Worth for the longest one in baseball this year. Jason's ended on the 19th of August against the Braves. And it began back on the 20th of June against the Dodgers. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Both streaks that he has working are tremendous. One to get 30 hits in a half a season is tremendous, let alone 30 games in a row.
There's a bouncer into the dugout, or off the facing of the dugout.
But to be on base that many games in a row, some days you don't feel very good hitting wise. Like, there's been many times you walk in that batter's box and say, I have no chance on getting a base hit today.
And a strike 3 called, so he's down looking. He spots the fastball. And nothing across for the Braves. Each team's gone up 1-2-3. I should say he's gone down 1-2-3. And we head to the second. Protect them with Independence Blue Cross. They're part of a national system of Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans that cover more than 100 million members across the country. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com/biz. Tommy Joseph leads it off here in the top of the second. Tommy got a chance to bat last night. He hit one right on the nose, but right where Jace Peterson is playing at this moment for the Atlanta Braves. You can see Peterson's cap on the bottom of your screen.
Jace Peterson is also tipping every pitch that's coming in to a right-hander.
Because he's moving?
He's moving.
All right, so if a pitch toward the outside part of the plate.
No, it's all about velocity.
Okay.
Change up, he'll take a step to his right. Fastball, he'll stay straight up.
So fastball. Actually, he did move at the last moment. 2-2. That's pretty interesting. That I wonder if he even realizes that he's giving it away.
I don't know. He didn't move as much that time.
He moved in and over half step. It's popped up into shallow right field. That may be in no man's land. It is. It drops in for a base hit for Tommy Joseph. That's how it's done.
See, they all even out. It's that missile last night up the middle. It's caught. Throws a long dart. Deep first for a base hit.
We should really mark it down to see if it really does even out.
They don't. That's a pretty thing right there.
Look
you can
at
see
Freeman.
He had no idea where it was.
I don't even think he could see it. I mean, we're at twilight here in Atlanta, so sometimes the sky is tough here anyway with pop-ups. Maikel Franco is the hitter. Franco, .251 this year, 25 homers, 87 runs batted in. He would like to get to 90 RBIs before the end of the day on Sunday.
I would say 90 RBIs would be a very good year for him. For the guys going through a learning experience in his first full season.
Out toward right center field, Markakis. I think he sees this one. And one out here in the second. Cody Ashley's coming up. 3 home games left beginning tomorrow night at 7:05 at Citizens Bank Park. Saturday is a 1:05 start. Yeah, that's because of national television. It's been moved from 7:05 to 1:05. And then Sunday, 3:05, Fan Appreciation Day. The 2017 Phillies schedule Fathead will be given out free to all fans. And you want to be in your seats early before the start of that ball game. Phillies are going to honor Ryan Howard before the start of Sunday's game. Cody Ashley hitting .217. He does have 3 hits, including a homer against Cole Mentor. Two balls and 1 strike. That's a fastball from Cole Mentor. I guess that's the cutter. Looked like it came inside a little bit to the left-handed batter.
Yeah, he throws what you call the true cutter. Doesn't break a lot. Breaks the last second, just enough to get off the barrel.
Ground ball, foul.
But I will say this about the cutter: if he doesn't get it in far enough and it barrels it,
good night.
Oh, they go a long way.
And think about pitching in Arizona when he didn't get it in enough.
A lot of people had to dive in that pool. to get out of the way.
But as we said, 38 and 33 for his major league career. There are a lot of guys that would, well, they would trade places with him. Curveball.
That's the overhand curveball.
That's the overhand curve. If he throws an underhand one, he's going to shock everybody. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. For strikeout for Cole Mentor. I think Cody thought or hoped that was too far inside. Changeup?
No, it's a little cutter.
Is it?
Yeah.
A.J. Ellis will stand in. Ellis hitting .210 overall. He has 2 home runs against Cole Mentor in his career. Try to go to the same spot. It was a little higher. Umpires for tonight's ball game. Phil Cuzzy, one of the veterans, is behind home plate. The crew chief, Tom Hallion, is at second base. Gabe Morales at first. And Stu Shorewater is around at third. To the right side. It's not going to sneak through. Peterson will gobble it up. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Phillies in the top of the second. On to the bottom of the second inning here in Atlanta. Back to work for Hellickson against his former teammate. Philadelphia Union's fight for the playoffs takes them north to battle the league's leading scorer Bradley Wright Phillips and the New York Red Bulls. Union versus Red Bulls Saturday night at 7 here on TCN. It is a gorgeous night here in Atlanta. Jeremy Hellickson will face Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, Anthony Recker. Kemp had a long home run in last night's ball game. The Braves are definitely better since they acquired Matt Kemp. I mean, they're above 500 since the trade happened. But they're actually a better team even dating back to the middle of June. As Hellickson watches Kemp dribble one back to the mound. 1-3 on the putout. They were 18-46 on the 14th of June. 18-46. They couldn't win here at Turner Field. Well, since that time, they are 47-46. So they're playing above 500 for more than half of this baseball season. And even though Brian Snitker needs a nap, he has still done a nice job with his team at 56-64. Markakis takes on the outside corner. He has a lot of at-bats against Hellickson. In fact, I don't know if we've seen anybody this year that has more at-bats than Markakis against Hellickson. 10 for 49 against him.
They probably faced him majority of the time when he was with Tampa and Markakis was with Baltimore.
Off the hands, popped up. Oof. If it was 40 degrees, 30 degrees, that would sting an awful lot. Well, this is our final night here at Turner Field. They broke ground in 1993. It opened in '96 for the Olympics. Opened for baseball in 1997. Braves have won 948 games here, including 10 division titles and 2 wild card berths. The Phillies at 82-90. Well, they have the best record of any opponent here at Turner Field. 82-90. Washington is 72-101, and the Marlins are 68-106 here at Turner Field. A strike to Anthony Recker. Recker hitting .282 with 2 homers and 15 RBIs. Out of Alvernia College, where he played baseball.
Had to play football, didn't he?
Did not play football in college. He said that he went to Alvernia because, well, they gave him a chance to play. He said, I always felt like I was going to get drafted or at least play professionally. That's Division III school. Does look like he should play football though, right? Inside, 3-1. Foul ball over to third. There you go. The Nationals 72-101. Marlins playing less than 400 baseball. That's 68-106. Over to shortstop and past the dive of Freddie Galvis. Frustrated that took a hop at the end. I think Freddie thought that he would be able to pick that ball, but it's a base hit. Looks like the last second it jumped. Maybe it was a shorter hop than I thought.
No, I think it hits just
doesn't take the hop he expected.
Yeah, and I think Freddie's back. He didn't pick it.
Runner at first, and Jace Peterson will be the batter. He did not play last night. Braves are thankful for that because Daniel Castro, who did play, had 3 hits and 3 RBIs.
Castro had a pretty good night last night. Tied a career high in 3 knocks. Had a career high in 3 RBIs.
Showed up at the ballpark today, and they said El Bencho.
Tough leg.
0-2 to Jace Peterson. Right through the 5-hole. And going to second base is Anthony Recker. A wild pitch charge to Jeremy Hellickson. It was definitely in the dirt, but I think it was a little lower than AJ thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I just think he tried to block it. You can see how he just drops down and blocks it. He needs to get his glove down quick enough. I would think that would be one of the, and Ben would know, although he didn't have a lot of balls in the dirt get by him. We called him Hoover. But it has to be frustrating when you know everything's bright. You just don't get down early enough to block that baseball. Like that one.
Got it this time. Over to third, and Franco has it. And he just barely gets Peterson, who's moving up the line. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. That's Anthony Recker. We'll move to the third. Fills the search of some offense. For the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question, log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, which Phillies, this is your last Jeep Stump the Fans of the year. Which Phillies pitcher did Chipper Jones hit his last major league home run off? Which Phillies pitcher did Chipper Jones homer against for his final home run? Answer will be revealed a little later on.
I believe that came in late in the game, didn't it?
Oh, it came late in the game, all right. Very upsetting. Top half of the third, Aaron Altair leads it off. Altair, Hellickson, and then Cesar Hernandez. One ball and no strikes to Aaron Altair. 2 for 14 on the road trip. That one's lined out towards center field. Malik Smith goes back and it dies basically on him. One away. Here's Hellickson. Well, speaking of home runs, the most home runs hit here at Turner Field belongs to Chipper Jones with 226, as you would expect. Andrew Jones is second with 166. And too bad the yard's going to close because Freddie Freeman was catching Javi Lopez. Well, not catching him, but he was getting there. Chipper, of course, has his number retired here in Atlanta and will one day be enshrined in Cooperstown. Looks at hitting a .151. Not that time.
I like the head is tracking that pitch the whole way in.
I was surprised by throwing him a curveball. Big looping curveball. Over at the top. He looks like a guy, though, that one day would throw a curveball underneath when he goes plays softball. Hellickson lines it into right field, a base hit. So that is hit number 2 for the Phils. With a 1-out single. The most popular way to follow the Phils and the postseason is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, game day scores, StatCast, live radio broadcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now. Speaking of radio broadcasts, we would like to thank our compadre on radio, Larry Anderson, for getting us to the ballpark today. They had a problem with one of the traffic lights outside the ballpark here in Atlanta. And we pulled up in our minivan.
That's right.
And there was a gentleman in front of us. Actually, there were 3 cars in front of us. And the light was red. And it stayed red for about 5 minutes. Finally, some people bought into the fact that it wasn't going to turn green, so they started making a turn. We moved up to number 2 in the line before the gentleman in front of us just was obeying every traffic rule possible, and he was not going to go. 2-1. So Larry got out of the van, walked into the middle of the road, and started directing traffic. It worked out okay until there were a lot more cars starting to come, and he didn't know what to do. Swing and a miss, 2-2. We finally did make the turn because he emphatically was trying to get the person in front of us to go, and then he wanted to jump back into the van
as it was moving.
As it was moving in the middle of the road. And that almost caused a traffic accident.
But everyone was waving, though, thanking him.
Yes. 2-2 is fouled at the plate. I think the best part was the pedestrians that were crossing the street in front of the stopped cars kept thinking the light was going to turn green, so they were in a panic to make sure they got across the street in time. In reality, it wasn't going to turn green.
There's probably somebody still sitting at that red light.
Foul ball, remains 2-2. Apparently about 2 hours earlier, 3 hours earlier, when the team bus was coming, they also got caught in the light. And apparently Larry Bowe was going to get off the bus and go direct traffic until finally somebody else got out of their car in front of the bus and started doing it. Remains 2-2. Curveball and a strike 3 call. That was the 8th pitch of the at bat. Second strikeout for Cole Mentor. And it's the second time he's been able to get somebody looking on strikes.
This is a big old-time curveball.
It's big. I think about swinging at that 3 or 4 different times before it actually comes across the plate. Galvis grounded out his first time up. Hellickson, he's being kept close but not held on. Freddie takes a breaking ball and it's 0-1.
He throws that pitch a little over 8% of the time. The leg's only hitting $125 versus it.
Why do you think it is? Is it just surprising to people?
Well, I mean, you got to be perfect to hit a big curveball like that. Just to where it starts up, comes down. It's almost like a little ephus pitch. Be like a slow pitch softball game.
That hits Freddie Galvis right in the arm. It did. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe hit him in the bat, but is it the hand? Let's take a look. Freddie in some pain as he's going up the first base line. Oh, the back arm.
Back arm, then the chest. You know, and usually first basemen never say, hey, you all right?
That one's blooped out toward left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Hellickson's around third. He's going to score. It'll be an RBI, a single for Odubel Herrera. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. Well, that's the second lawn dart that the Phillies have had today. Tommy Joseph had the first one. Jeremy Hellickson puts the first run on the board here at the top of the third with the RBI from Herrera.
Well, this is where we say you hit it like you threw it. You didn't hit it very good. You didn't hit it very hard. It's all about placement.
And Hellickson with 2 outs didn't hesitate. Able to score easily. So the Phils now have another runner over at third with 2 men down, and Tommy Joseph coming up. See if Tommy can drive another one in here, get his average up over 261. We mentioned that this weekend Ryan Howard is going to play, according to Pete Buchanan, all 3 days. And as Pete said, and Tommy's admitted this too, he totally gets it and has no problem with it whatsoever. 0-1 to Joseph. There's Ryan, who played the first 2 games of this series. He'll enter 2017 if he is with another team, with 23 lifetime home runs here at Turner Field. In fact, his 23 home runs here at Turner Field, the most among visitors. David Wright has 19, and then Piazza and Bonds with 14 apiece. Over to third, and a big hop for Ruiz. Phillies do score a run. They get a couple of hits. They leave 2. We have played 2.5. Odubel Herrera's RBI has given the Phils a 1-0 lead over Atlanta. By Nissan. ShopChooseNissan.com. By McDonald's. Mix and match any two for just $2.50 on McDonald's McPick 2 menu. And by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Bottom half of the third. Phillies lead at 1-0. Hellickson will face Rio Ruiz, then Josh Comenter at the top of the Braves order. 3 more games left after tonight here at Turner Field. They will play the Detroit Tigers in the final 3 games, which is a very odd last 3 games of the 2016 season. You would think that the Braves would play somebody from the National League East to wrap up Turner Field, but as it goes, they will play the Detroit Tigers. Tigers, who are a game back of the Orioles for the second wild card spot in the American League. They have a game tonight against the Indians, so they're meaningful games for the Tigers the Braves have this weekend. Phillies fans thanking Ryan Howard for the memories.
Yeah, the Detroit series down here is going to be huge.
Big time. Big time. Here's Rio Ruiz, who is the Gwinnett Player of the Year. Ruiz this year hit .271 with 10 homers down at Gwinnett. 1-1. By the way, I did not know this, but the Indians-Tigers game has been postponed because of weather. Uh-oh is right. That means we're probably going to have a game on Monday. It may not be the only game on Monday. They waited 4 hours and 13 minutes because of the importance of the game. So make sure you're clear your Monday schedule. Ruiz takes outside, 2-2. Apparently there was 6 inches of rain at Comerica Park. Mick Billmeyer must have done about 4 crossword puzzles by the time that was postponed. That one's lined right at Cesar Hernandez, who picks it out of the air. Still throws over to first. It is an L4. Line out to second. And now Colementer's coming up. He is 0 for 4 this year. So from an American League standpoint, the Blue Jays have the top wild card spot right now. Their magic number is 3 to clinch postseason berth. 0-1. Orioles have the second spot. Their magic number is 4 to clinch a playoff spot. Tigers 1 game back, and the Mariners are 2 games back. Now in the National League, the Phillies will be playing meaningful games this weekend because of the Mets. The Mets magic number, and they have a 1.5 game lead right now to clinch the wild card. But their magic number is 2. There's the wild card right there. Giants 83 and 75. They've got a game lead over St. Louis. Their magic number is 4. It's any combination of Giants wins coupled with St. Louis losses that equal 4 will give them the second wild card spot. Got it, Matt?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Here's Malik Smith, and he takes low, 1-0. Giants playing the Rockies today. Dodgers this weekend. There was a thought that Clayton Kershaw was going to match up against Madison Bumgarner tomorrow night. It'll be Rich Hill. One and two. I think Michael Franco's going to play back now that there's 2 strikes.
Probably.
He was in on the grass on the last pitch. Curveball just a bit outside. 2-2. Boy, that's a good spot right there with that offering. Now Alex Smith did not think that changeup was on the inside part of the plate, but it was. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves. On to the 4th. The Phils on top 1-0. Their Jet Intelligent Toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who but WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HB. You can also get yourself some Blizzard spring water if you want to from WB Mason. We always have some in the office. Here's Michael Franco to lead it off. Franco flied out to right his first time. That one's pulled foul. Down the right field line, and Nick Markakis will not get to it. And it goes foul. Remains no balls and 2 strikes to Franco. Franco, Ashe, and E.J. Ellis for the Phillies. By the way, speaking of Turner Field, Mickey Morandini, the first base coach's box, has the 3rd highest season batting average here at Turner Field back in 1997. At 522, he was 12 for 23. First year of baseball here at Turner Field. Jose Vidro, who I always thought was a great player. He had the best back in 2000 with Montreal, 588. Juan Rivera, 2004, hit 542. I asked Mickey today, I said, so, what was it? What made you hit so well? He goes, I don't remember. Back toward the middle. He said, but check out my numbers overall here at this place. 6-3 on the putout, and Cody Ashe. Excuse me, 4-3 on the putout. Cody Ashe. Mickey was happy, though, that I brought it up in the middle of the coach's room because Dusty Wathen, John McLaren, who is celebrating a birthday today, Larry Boa, and Steve Henderson were all in there, and they were very impressed.
Little bragging rights going on.
That's exactly right. Ball's hit foul, and it's 0-1. There's your lineup. Larry Boa. Yep. Pete Buchanan, he was not there. He had walked in a few minutes later. Bob McClure was out in the bullpen. Rick Kranitz was with him. Steve Henderson was there, though, and he heard the whole thing. Ball and 2 strikes to Ashe, who struck out looking his first time up. Off the end of the bat. Checking out your numbers at Turner Field.
Yeah, surprisingly, I actually hit over 300 here.
Yes, you did.
Because I didn't like hitting in this ballpark. There's no foul territory. It feels like the pitcher's about 6 feet away from you.
That one's blooped down the left field line out of play. Great batter's eye, though, right?
Well, it's a great batter's eye, and you don't see any outfielders. You're just because it's so big in the outfield, but it's just something for me. I mean, when I stood in there and you have about that amount of foul territory, well, that's a batter's eye, but it just felt like the pitcher's right on top of you.
Yeah.
Here, the old stadium in Detroit.
Breaking ball. The old stadium in Detroit, Tiger Stadium, it almost looked, because of the crown of the field, that you were hitting uphill.
Well, you would take a lot of pitches at home plate. You think it's going to be in the dirt, and it would be right down the middle of the plate. You couldn't even see the whole body of a center fielder there.
No.
And then, God forbid, if you didn't duck in the dugout, you were going to sleep because you were getting knocked out by the dugout they had there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 8th pitch of this at bat for Ashe, and he hits it out towards shallow left. Swanson is there, the shortstop. And there are 2 outs. That'll bring A.J. Ellis to the plate. You mentioned before that Ellis was part of that conversation at the end of the game last night, and this is the reason why. Phillies 1-5 on this road trip. 63 runs allowed. Starters ERA over 7. Bullpen ERA is over 13. Murph, it's late in the year, but I guess it was a warranted meeting by A.J. Ellis and Ryan Howard.
Yeah, you know what, Tom? It's late in the year, but it's not over yet. And that really was the message that Ryan Howard and A.J. Ellis wanted to get across to the rest of their teammates last night. They closed the door, players-only meeting before, right after the game was over, before Pete Buchanan even talked to the members of the media. They had closed the door and were talking to each other. And it was started by the 2 of those guys, but I talked to a couple of the guys today, and I was told that also Freddie Galvis got up and spoke as well at the meeting. And really the message was very simple. It was, we've got a job to do, and we're not doing it very well right now. And, we get paid some money to do this job. And we also we're not in the playoff race, but we can affect the playoff race with the 3 games against the Mets. So they just wanted to have that conversation and to let everyone know that, look, We play 162. We don't play 158 and 159 and hang them up. We play 162, and to go out and have a little bit of personal pride and go out there and do the best you can. If it ends up in a loss, so be it. But it certainly they felt that the team wasn't bringing it the way they certainly were earlier in the year, guys.
Yeah, A.J. Ellis said that today. He said the biggest thing is that we reminded everybody that there are 4 games left. Let's just play the 4 the way we know how to play. And we saw that yesterday. It's interesting Murph brings that up about Freddie Galvis. We saw last night as the game was winding down, Pete Mackanin and Freddie Galvis having a very lengthy conversation in the dugout after Freddie had been lifted from the ball game. Maybe that was part of it. Ellis loops it, foul territory, first base side. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't have to come from the manager.
No, but I like the fact that you have, closed door player meetings and stuff. It's usually just an area for people to talk and get some things off their chest. Do people respond? I always find it's the guys that need to respond to the guys that call the meetings. Lead by example.
Out toward right field. Markakis on the run.
And I don't mean by going up there and taking control of the game, but just continue playing hard, concentrate, and prepare for the season for the last 4 games.
Well, we head to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies on top 1-0. It has been a cleaner game. Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. Phillies lead at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jeremy Hellickson will face Swanson, Freeman, and Kemp. That's 2, 3, and 4 for the Atlanta Braves. Just 1 hit allowed so far for Hellickson. Jeremy trying to pick up his 13th win of the season. Last time out, the changeup wasn't working as well as it worked against the Marlins. That was against the Mets when he went 4 1/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs. He threw a lot of cutters that day against the Mets, it seems.
Yep.
It was just one of those days. One of those days.
It has to be a bad feeling knowing that your best pitch is your changeup. And if you don't have the grip or it doesn't feel right coming out of your hand that day, plan B and C better work.
And then if they don't, then plan D, get more runs, a lot more runs. Well, you can't really control that one.
He's got a hit.
Does have a hit and a run scored. He has scored the only run tonight. This is inside to Swanson. What do you think about this kid, Matt?
I like him. I mean, I haven't seen him very many at bats, but I like his approach. Ball jumps off his bat. He works a big part of the field. As he tries to pull that one. Never fails, you know. You sit there and you tap a kid on the back, telling his approach is great. Hits the ball where he's supposed to. And he tries to pull a changeup. hits him in the foot.
Well, we'll go back to his first at bat. That was using the big part of the field.
Yes. Well, the triple yesterday, right center. He has pull power.
1-2. Keep talking, Matt. Keep talking.
I will say one thing about his defense is that when we saw him earlier, compared to now, he's not sitting back on his heels, letting the ball play him.
You think that's comfort?
I think it's, yeah, and I think it's learning the fields.
Swing and a miss. Well, he threw one changeup after another. Picks up his 4th strikeout. Saturday, October 15th from 12:30 until 5 at Citizens Bank Park. Over 50 top food vendors, food trucks, cheesesteak eating contest, craft beer garden, live music, and carnival games for the kids. Tickets include a voucher voucher for 2 for the 2017 Phillies tickets. For details, go to Phillies.com/foodfest. Phillies.com/foodfest. Well, it looks like we got a little bit of a problem out on the mound. As Jeremy Hellickson looks like he may have injured himself with one out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Scott Sheridan came out quickly. Did you see anything, Matt?
No, I didn't.
Pete McCannon's going toward the dugout. Talking to Bob McClure. Well, they're going to get somebody. Don't forget, he's been bothered by a back problem throughout the course of this year. And he did look right at the dugout after throwing that pitch, so his season is done. 189 innings for Jeremy Hellickson. Boy, what a shame. 3 1/3 tonight, 1 hit.
Ties his career high.
Well, we'll try to get an update as soon as we can. And the Phillies will have a new pitcher when we return to Turner Field. Right, welcome your newest little one into the world by signing them up to be a Phillies fan for life. Members receive personalized Phillies birth certificate, personalized Fanavision birth announcement, 2016 Phillies pre-walker sneakers, Phillies Rookie of the Year bib, and much more. Join now at Phillies.com/newborn club. Well, it looks like Colton Murray is going to be the new pitcher for the Phils. Murray was warming up on the mound, now has stepped back beyond the mounds to stretch out a little bit more. So he's on for the injured Jeremy Hellickson. He'll get all the time he needs to warm up here because of the injury to Hellickson. We obviously showed you the video. I mean, it's hard to speculate when it comes to injuries. We do know that Jeremy's had a back/side issue during the course of this season. but until we get official word, we won't speculate on what it is. So the Phillies and the Braves are wrapping up their season series tonight, and the Braves, they're closing. Braves are 10-8. They've hit .261 against the Phils. And their starters have been good. Their bullpen has been excellent. In fact, their bullpen recently has been very good beyond what they've done against the Phillies. The bullpen has been excellent. So it's been about 5 straight wins for the Braves against the Phillies.
Better hitting, better pitching. Bottom line.
That's really what it was.
But the Braves had, I mean, the Phillies have had some chances. Unfortunately, they've come up short. Especially the first game, let that one get away. Last night, no contest. But it's a shame because Jeremy Hellickson looked like Eichhoff did the first game.
I was thinking the same thing. It's just like Jared Eichhoff the other night when Eichhoff was pitching so well until the rain caused an hour and 31-minute rain delay. So it's going to be a bullpen game now for the rest of the way, which has been the case a lot on this road trip where the bullpen has been involved a lot. So the bullpen comparison, so April through August, not bad, 4.42 ERA. It actually was getting better. September, it's not really that good, 8.07.
No, and it's been a tough. It'd be interesting if you take those numbers, cut them in half.
Yep.
Where this record would be right now with the team, of how the September would go, ERA-wise.
Yeah, this was actually a better month overall before we hit the road here. You and I were talking about that before the game, just where the Phillies were when they hit the road, and where they are now after going 1-5 in the first 6 games of this road trip. Colt Murray hasn't worked a whole lot recently. Could be part of the reason why it's taken him a little extra time to get himself loosened up out on the mounds. He's asking for 3 more pitches before he's ready to go.
Well, and plus the players didn't hit on the field today, so his routine's is changed. They come out and do their routine before the regular stretch and throw. So he probably threw today around, what would you say, about 4:15.
I would think you're right about that.
So he's about 4 hours into it where he hasn't thrown a ball.
Yeah, the Braves had their photo day today with the fans lining the warning track as we do at Citizens Bank Park. So they took some photos with the fans.
And I believe the bullpen has a little routine where they will go with the 5th inning, start stretching as a team down in the bullpen, walk around, get some movement done.
All right, so Colt Murray is done with his warm-up tosses. We'll check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
Well, as we have a little bit of break in the action, why don't we bring you back to a simpler time, guys? It's time for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. September 29th, 1915, the Phillies clinched their first National League pennant with a win over Boston 5-0. Now get this, it was a one-hitter for Grover Cleveland Alexander, and it was his 4th one-hitter of the season and his 12th shutout of the year. 12 shutouts for Grover Cleveland Alexander that season. So they clinched it way back on this date in 1915.
Phillies have 12 shutouts this year.
There you go.
Well, how about that year? He went 32-10.
Yeah.
376 innings pitched. He gave up 3 home runs the whole year. 300.
What was a simpler time? You heard Murph say it.
It was a simpler time.
That ball's hit well. Playable for Herrera. Freddie Freeman swings at the first pitch. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Murph, are you by chance standing out near the drum?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Or is that you playing?
You can't hear it.
It's not me playing. I don't have that kind of rhythm. That's Repeat over there. He just was training this other gentleman to work the drums.
Is there training involved?
Yeah, he's a rookie, this guy.
Is there training involved in that?
Apparently, yeah.
And Matt,
I just asked if the big drum was coming to the new ballpark.
Excellent question.
It is an excellent question. No answer yet. We don't know.
Matt Kemp is the batter. And Matt, just so you know, if you watch the Ask the Phillies videos, Murph would not be playing the drums. Murph, you would be?
Well, I would like to be the lead singer.
Right.
That doesn't mean I would be the lead singer. 2 different questions.
But you would be playing.
I would probably be in the audience.
What did you? What was that? A couple years ago, you played. Remember you?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right. The big
the mouth harp.
peanuts.
Yes, I did play the mouth harp. A mean mouth harp. Yeah.
Oh, that was so silly. 2-0 pitch coming to Kemp. Swing and a miss. 91 on that fastball. The mouth harp now is in the Smithsonian.
Murph, that blue shirt's just popping out there.
Well, thank you, Matt.
I didn't say your eyes. I said your shirt.
Well, it's my shirt. Originally had a red shirt on today, and then I meant to put a red shirt on today, and I went to iron it, and I burned a hole right through it. So we went light blue instead.
Fortunately, we have a lot of them.
Yes, we do.
Although Matt has one less after tonight. You decide what you're going to do with it? Your gray, your blue-gray one?
Oh, my blue-gray? Garbage.
Way inside, ball 4. So Kemp draws a walk. It's only the second base runner for the Braves in this game. And Marquez popped out his first time up.
Big hockey game tonight too.
Flyers game?
No, well they played last night. They won again.
They're winning the preseason. We got game 2 of the World Cup. There's a line drive base hit into left field. Ashe will cut it off, and Kemp stops at second. Runners on first and second, 2 men down. And Anthony Recker is going to be the hitter. Something's wrong. I think maybe they threw behind Matt Kemp. And Cesar applied a tag. Let's watch it and see. Larry Bowa is on the horn. Players had a signal to the dugout because they looked like they were conferring about what they were going to do with the record coming up here. But I think they snuck a throw in behind Matt Kemp. Kemp took about a 4-step turn around the second base bag. All right, so let's watch. Here we go, and he's out. Or maybe not. He may have gotten his foot back in. Tom Halley did signal safe. I actually thought that Kemp was about to pick his foot up higher, but he went right to the bag when Cesar applied the tag. So they've decided that they will not review it. It did look like he got his foot back in, didn't it? It was close.
It was bang bang, very close.
I think Cesar was probably hoping that they got him. Saying, see, not the only one.
That's why you never turn your back on the ball.
Strikes. Down 2-0 now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. got to be awfully careful with this pitch. He's a strong man. Jace Peterson is on deck. Anthony Recker with 3 home runs lifetime against the Phillies. His home runs coming when he was with the New York Mets. Runners lead off. Inside ball 4. So that'll load up the bases. 2 walks in the inning for Colton Murray. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Baltimore and Toronto are battling right now. In the top of the 6th inning, Orioles lead at 2-0. Manny Machado with a sacrifice fly has helped the Orioles to get the second run. Again, those 2 teams are battling for position in the wild card. They're battling for a wild card spot, but they're also battling each other for position, because not only do you want to get in, but you certainly would like to host that wild card game. Bases loaded for Jace Peterson. 0-1.
Especially when the Red Sox just came out and said who they were pitching against Toronto this weekend. 2 big boys, Price and Porcello.
Curveball. Murray does have a good curveball. When he's got his command, he's got a very good breaking pitch. Runs a fastball up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is the pitch right here that you're sitting in the driver's seat as a hitter. 2-2 pitch. You know he doesn't want to go 3-2.
Got him. 95. He foul tips it. And it's hung on to by A.J. Ellis. No runs, 1 hit, 3 men left in the inning. After the Phillies lose their starter, Colton Murray is able to get out of the 4th inning. Weekend series against the New York Mets. You get 4 tickets, 4 Hatfield hot dogs, and 4 Coca-Colas for $100. Available for the October 1st and 2nd games this weekend. For more information and to order, visit the ticket section at Phillies.com. Top of the 5th inning, Phillies lead at 1-0. Aaron Altair and then Colton Murray to face Josh Colmenter. And his curveball's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Altair lined out to center field his first time up.
It's a big curveball.
Three balls, 1 strike now to Altair. Give me an idea, Matt, what you think Aaron needs to do this offseason just to get himself back into the swing of things for 2017.
Well, I think he needs to get back to being short to the baseball like that.
Base hit to right field for him.
You're going to have to make a few adjustments, especially second, third time through seeing teams. They've made some adjustments. I'd like to see him take that leg kick away a little bit. I mentioned yesterday that he should maybe go a little wider stance.
Still have the leg kick, but just not as deliberate with it.
Yeah, you can still look. The leg kick's more of a timing thing. Like, he doesn't need to have the leg kick to generate power. It's all about if you go a little wider, and the next thing you know, you turn your hip in a little bit. That's where you generate your power. You know, so having the leg kick and diving into home plate and being 6'6", that's why we've seen a lot of teams pitch him inside. Now, if they miss that over the plate, that's fine. Like the last base at the right field there was very good. So to make it simple, I would work on his direction of where he strides more towards the pitcher than towards second base.
I know his wrist probably needs a break. You know, he is surgically repaired wrist. It's fine, but there are times when I'm sure it bothers him. He has it wrapped right now.
I would love to see him play winter ball, tell you the truth.
That's what I was going to say. I mean,
I would love to see him go down to the Mexican League. The Dominican League is more of a fastball league. That's where you got all the hard throwers. And go down and play in winter ball in Mexico is where you see a lot of off-speed pitches.
Ball's bunted foul, and Colton Murray's down on strikes. Third strikeout for Colmenter. It is funny that you think about those leagues because you know, you've talked about this, others have talked about the reputation and the styles of each league. It's almost like the American League and the National League.
Right, and I think it's because you see more major league ball players coming out of the Dominican, you know, Puerto Rico, Venezuela area. You know, there's been some great Mexican players coming to the Mexican League as well.
There's a bunt toward third. Ruiz is up with it, and he throws over to first just in time to get Cesar Hernandez. Not a bad idea by Cesar, just a little too hard. He does get a sacrifice even though he was bunting for a base hit, but by rule they judge it a sacrifice in that situation. Book rule. It used to be that there was discretion by the scorer.
With 1 out?
It used to be discretion, but now they have been told, official scores, I say they, the group of them, that if there is a ball bunted where a runner does advance to, let's see, your second here or third, then they want him to give him sacrifice.
But with a man on second base with 1 out, you lay a bunt down, he advances to third.
I think they still give a sacrifice. I think that is what the official scores. Really? I don't want to speak for all of them, but I remember talking to Mike McConey, who's the Phillies official scorer, that, you know, in the meetings that they have each and every year, there's certain things that they go over, that baseball goes over with them, and that was one of the rules. toward the middle. And diving stop by Peterson. Altair is way around the third base bag, and now it'll be a rundown. Let's see if Aaron Altair can somehow get out of this pickle. He cannot. Well, it wasn't Chase Utley against Jason Bartlett, but Jace Peterson did catch Aaron Altair roaming around the third base bag, and that means Cole Mentor is through 5. Thinking that ball might have gotten through and he would score easily from second base. That was not the case, though.
Well, let's see. He has his head down. It's going to be tough to see if he picks up one somehow early. He looks down at the bag and then he picks his head up and sees one's pointing back towards third base. By that time, it's too late.
By the way, heck of a play by Peterson, because that ball took sort of an extra bounce, a big extra bounce at the end, and he was still able to flag it down. Ruiz takes a strike, 0-1. One ball and 2 strikes. Good curveball. And Ruiz strikes out. Second strikeout for Murray in relief of Hellickson. Time now for our Citizens Bank minor league report. And as we wind down the major league season, we'll let you know that Reading Phil's controller, Chris Haber, has been nominated for the Rawlings Women Executive of the Year Award, given out to a woman who has made an outstanding contribution to their club. And Chris oversees the financial operations for the team and baseball town charities. Reading's also been nominated for the Larry McPhail Award. That is a prestigious award given out each and every year in the minor leagues. So congratulations to the Reading Fightins. Larry McPhail Award is given out to the club in minor league baseball that has demonstrated outstanding and creative marketing and promotional efforts. And well, there's no question that the folks at the Reading Fightins do that. They've been doing that for a long time, since Chuck Domino was the GM, and now Scott Hunsinger and his crew. Very nice. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cole Mentor. Comenter gets a piece of it. Comenter has been up 5 times this year. He is 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. 19 hits during his big league career.
And a bruised shin because the first one he fouled off hit him right in the shin.
Yeah, there's a strike 3 called. Toyota Major League scoreboard, Cincinnati and St. Louis. Top of the 6th inning, St. Louis 3. Cincinnati 1. Jed Jerko is at his 28th home run for the Cards. Cardinals are a game back behind the Giants. And here's Mallex Smith, who's 0 for 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Mallex Smith.
Murray's got that nice curveball working right now. It's a hard curveball. You know, we seen 95 earlier on the strike to Peterson, the strikeout to Peterson, but it's a good curveball.
That one just missed outside a little low. Over to third. You got to hurry if you're Franco, and he is just in time to get him. Boy, he put a lot on that throw. He knew exactly who was running. 1, 2, 3, go the Braves. So an inning and 2/3 scoreless from Colton Murray, and it's time for the top of the 6th inning. Maikel Franco, you got to know who's in the batter's box when you get something hit this soft. That's exactly. He didn't know if he should barehand it or not, but he had time to get it into his glove and out and throw over to first. Essentially putting the finishing touches on his Phillies career. The 2005 NL Rookie of the Year quickly became the 2006 National League MVP. Ryan currently sits 2nd on the team's home run list, 3rd in RBIs, and is among the top 10 in slugging, games, at-bats, total bases, doubles, and walks. Ryan Howard was the ultimate big piece in the middle of the 2008 World Championship lineup. He brought excitement to Philadelphia for 13 seasons, and he brought class. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Odubel Herrera will lead it off here at the top of the 6th inning. 1-0 Phillies on top. Josh Colmenter dealing out on the mound, and the first pitch is lifted out toward left. It's not deep. One away. And Tommy Joseph's coming up. Well, in between innings, the Braves Fan of the Year, Jonathan Howard. We just mentioned that Ryan Howard was our Philly of the Week. Well, Jonathan Howard is the Braves Fan of the Year. And why? Well, because he has supported them throughout the course of the season, and he filled out the right application on Braves.com. So he got a chance to pull the number 4 off the wall, which is a great honor from his standpoint. He got a chance to meet a bunch of the Braves before the game. Tomorrow night, when the Tigers are in town, the number 3, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, but the number 3 is going to be pulled by
Trammell.
By Dale Murphy.
Oh, sorry.
Tommy Joseph takes low, 2-1. Number 2 is scheduled to be pulled by John Sherholtz, who was the architect behind all those great Brave teams. Shallow center field. Malik Smith is there. 2 outs.
And number 1, Freddie Freeman.
It is not Freddie Freeman. They have not divulged who it is. I think the hope is that it will be Ted Turner that will pull it. That's the hope, but apparently he's not feeling all that well. The other thought would be that Hank Aaron would be here to do it. Those are just rumblings around the press box. Personally think they should have gotten Biff Pocoroba to do it, or somebody along those lines. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Franco. Inside, 1-1. Way inside, 2-2.
Bring back Felipe Alou.
Could bring back Felipe Alou. Foul ball, and it remains 2-2. So many names are popping up into our heads and all the heads that are around us. Balls, 2 strikes to Franco. Over toward third. Rio Ruiz backs up on it. And it turns out to be an easy 6th inning for Colmenter. 1-2-3 go the Phils. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Atlanta. The Phillies enjoying a 1-0 lead. is brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by WV Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. 1-0 Phillies as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Turner Field. It'll be Swanson, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Kemp against Colton Murray, who's on for the injured Jeremy Hellickson. We have not received word yet about what Jeremy's injury was. First pitch to Swanson is at the knees, 0-1. Tough part of the lineup for Colton Murray. He's got to stay aggressive, though. Michael Marriott throwing in the bullpen. He has not worked since Saturday's ball game. He was able to secure that 10-8 victory over the Mets.
First time this year Swanson's hitting the 2-hole.
You wonder if that's where they're going to have him. Although, as you've been mentioning, and you're right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are pretty darn good for the Braves. If Brian Snitker, you probably keep him, Swanson, down hitting 8th next year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and he's a good off-speed hitter. Plus, he's a smart hitter. He'll take his walks. Batting 8th, he's hitting .333 this year.
That's a high fly ball to deep left field. Ashe going back, and it is off the top of the wall, and it's gone. Dansby Swanson, his 3rd home run of the big leagues. And this is a 1-1 ball game. Turned on that pitch.
I mentioned earlier he has pull power. This is actually a pitch that's off the plate, but it's up a little bit. Tucks his hands in and barrels it. Good effort by Cody right here. Off the top of the wall.
Freddie Freeman waves at the first one. Hit off the top of that yellow line, then hit the back wall, and then came back. On the inside corner, 1-2 to Freddie Freeman. The right side, Freddie Galvis backs up on it. 6-3 on that putout. That'll bring Matt Kemp up to the plate. All right, Matt, here we go. Which Phillies pitcher did Chipper Jones hit his last MLB home run off as we take a look at our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer?
I said Jonathan Papelbon.
Jonathan Papelbon is correct. Back on September 2nd, 2012. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Where does it put you for the year?
Pretty darn good.
Yeah. If you should say so yourself.
I've had some tough luck in it.
We've requested this weekend that Ben's brother Glenn not watch to help him out with the final 2 games, since Saturday's game's on national TV. See if he can close it out on his own. A 1 pitch to Kemp. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Friday and Sunday will be on the Phillies television network. Schmitty will join Murph and Ben and Leslie Goodell in the covers this weekend. 0-2 to Matt Kemp. And it remains 2 strikes.
You know, we talked yesterday about the games on Sunday, excuse me, are all 3:05 Eastern time starts.
Correct.
If they ever decide to change that, if the games on Sunday would mean 0 importance.
Well, it'd be hard to do that. They'd have to know well in advance.
I suppose.
I think it's hard enough a lot of times when you have games like Saturdays change so quickly from 7:05 to 1:05.
You can still start at 1:05. Just play a 10:05 game on the West Coast.
Yeah, morning.
Hey,
Breakfast and bagels and baseball.
it's their fault for playing on the West Coast.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 92. Blew by him. 4 strikeouts for Colton Murray.
Good fastball up in the zone. I don't care how good a fastball you can hit. When that ball's elevated that high, chances are low that you're going to make solid contact.
Well, here's Nick Markakis. He singled his last time up. That single came against Colton Murray. Murray's allowed 2 hits, including a home run in relief of Jeremy Hellickson.
Ben's not very happy with you right now.
No, he's not. I at least give some hints out. Murph apparently didn't give any hints out.
You know what Murph's hint was?
What was that?
Oh, you get this one easily.
As he clicks onto his computer.
Yeah. It's easy to say when you have the answer in front of you.
2-0. Anthony Recker waits on deck. 3 balls, no strikes to Markakis. They just walked him on 4 pitches. So 3rd walk issued by Murray, and now Anthony Recker will hit. Recker's been on base twice. He's got an infield single, or a single off the glove of an infielder, and he walked his last time to the plate.
First time this year Colton Murray's thrown 50 pitches in an outing. His high before this was 44. That was his last outing against the Mets in that 17-0 loss.
0-2. Well, he has good life on his fastball right now.
Good life on his fastball. I really like his curveball.
The 0-2 pitch coming to Anthony Recker. And he fouls off that breaking ball. And a strike 3 call. 5 strikeouts for Colton Murray. The Braves do tie it up on the home run by Dansby Swanson. We'll go to the 7th inning. Phillies and the Braves tied up at 1. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. 1-1 ball game. Phillies scored a run in the 3rd inning. That's what Jeremy Hellickson crossed the plate after leading off the inning with a single, or actually reaching first on a single with 1 out. And then Dansby Swanson's home run, his 3rd of the year, tied it up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hellickson's out after 3 1/3 with an injury. And now as we go to the top of the 7th inning, Cody Ashe will lead it off against Josh Colmentor. Boy, how good has Colmentor been tonight? Apparently what he did for the Braves the first 2 games he pitched.
Staying away from it. Staying away from the barrel.
Cody Ashe is 0 for 2. Murph, you got an update on Hellickson?
We do. It's a minor update. He left with a right knee strain tonight. That's what we were being told. So right knee strain for Jeremy Hellickson. So it's not the back that he had been bothered with a little bit earlier this season, but a right knee sprain is the word we're getting.
Fly ball to left field. Matt Kemp makes the catch, 1 away. I wonder if he did it running the bases. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's hard to tell. Well, he finishes up the year with 189 innings pitched. A.J. Ellis, the hitter. Ellis is 0 for 2. One ball and no strikes to A.J. Colmentor's thrown a first pitch strike to 19 of the 25 batters that he has faced tonight. Bullpen action. Ramirez to the left and Kroll to the right.
Sometimes once you would think you would see a pitcher rear back and try to fire one. But he's lived at 83 to 85 the whole game.
Just great command. There are days though when he gets hit pretty hard. Not tonight. This is his 99th pitch of the evening. And A.J. A.J. Ellis lines it to right, and that'll be a base hit. That is his 5th hit lifetime against Cole Mentor. Tomorrow at 5, Phil's skipper Pete Mackanin talks about the 2016 season and the offseason to come. Plus, former Eagles linebacker Ike Reese breaks down the Birds' defense as they head into the bye week on Philly Sports Talk. Tomorrow at 5 on CSN. Eagles defense has been very good in the first 3 weeks of the season. Darren Ruff is out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit as Altair takes low, 1-0. Fly ball left center field. Alex Smith tells Matt Kemp he's got it. Back to first will go A.J. Ellis, and here comes Ruff to pinch hit. Darren has struggled as a pinch hitter during the course of his career. Matt, you have the most home runs, pinch hit home runs in baseball history. When you see somebody struggle as a pinch hitter, and he's 3 for 21 this year, can you pinpoint why? Is there a reason why somebody like Darren Ruff, who's got pop, struggles as a pinch hitter?
Well, at times he doesn't get ready for that first pitch. A lot of the scouting report is, well, the guy's a good fastball hitter, but he's been sitting around for 2 hours and 6 minutes right now. I just find once Darren figures out where his strength is, and we've talked to him before about it, like, where do you like the baseball? He goes, out over the middle of the plate. Well, yeah, but I mean, there's going to be another area where you enjoy.
Right, because everybody likes it out over the plate.
Right. So I think for him, he just has to be aggressive, but aggressive in his spot. I found that I was a very good fastball, an inside fastball hitter, so I would try to take until I had 2 strikes on me if I didn't get it.
Well, it takes a strike.
See, now that's the pitch right there that he needs to be ready to hit. That's a cutter that starts in or third and goes back in the middle of the plate. But again, if he doesn't feel comfortable hitting that pitch, then so be it.
Up high, 2-1.
I was checking his numbers out before he came to the Atlanta Braves. Josh, the pitcher, and in 15 games, he only gave up runs in 3 of those games. Unfortunately, there were 4 each time. And had back-to-back starts come on over here where he threw 2 runs and 2 runs.
Yeah, think about tonight. If he gets through this inning, his earned run average is going to drop close to 3.7. He's probably going to be done after that. It's at 3.73 right now. That's not a bad year for a long man, if that's what you consider him. Swing and a miss. Ruff strikes out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Phillies in the top of the 7th inning. It is time to stretch here in Atlanta. We'll move to the home 7th, tied up at 1. Braves scored one in the bottom of the 6th inning, so here we are in the home half of the 7th inning. Michael Marriott takes over. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Michael Marriott 1-0 with a 5.68 earned run average. 22 strikeouts in 19 innings of work. Over for Colton Murray, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Marriott will face the bottom third of the order. It'll be Peterson, Ruiz, and then a pinch hitter for Josh Colmenter, who is most likely done after 7. There's Colmenter. Braves have a very extensive bullpen, which has been excellent in the month of September. Their bullpen has a 2.84 earned run average. I think what Colmenter has done, whether it's with Atlanta or somebody else, he's probably earned a spot with somebody's team next year in that role that we just talked about as a long man. Just by, I know you can never look at September all the time and say, okay, that guy has made a name for himself, but he's pitched well for the Braves. Peterson leads it off. Peterson is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third, and he is struck out. First pitch is outside, 1-0.
I always think it's important to have a spot starter, long man in the bullpen, guy that you can rely on. If you need to start him, he's going to give you 6-7 quality innings. Saves from calling up and down from the minor leagues all the time. Unfortunately, they don't get used a whole lot in the big leagues.
And every team wants one. But a lot of times it's hard to find that guy that can fill that role from one year to the next. Two and 2 to Peterson. And he stays alive, hits it foul. Phil Cuzzy's looking around for that ball that was in the dirt.
Oh, it's a great pick.
He looked back twice. He didn't realize that A.J. Ellis had it in his glove. 3-2 pitch coming. And there's ball 4. So Peterson draws a walk. 4th walk issued by the Phil's pen. Well, this Sunday is Fan Appreciation Day at Citizens Bank Park. First pitch is scheduled for 3:05. Final game of the season. Our chance to say thank you to the greatest fans in the world. All fans receive a Phillies Fathead with a 2006-17 Phillies schedule on it. Plan for plenty of prizes and surprises. And don't forget, get to your seats early. There'll be a special ceremony honoring Ryan Howard before the ball game. And what is likely his final day in a Phillies uniform. 1 ball and no strikes. Ellis is going to go out and chat with Michael Marriott. He's off kilter a little bit here to start. And around baseball, they're hoping that Sunday has some meaningful games on the docket. And the way the wild card is set up, it looks like there may be some meaningful games. Jose Ramirez continues to throw in the pen. Lally is out of the on-deck circle for the Braves. Luis Garcia is warming up in the pen for the Phillies. Doing one the count to Ruiz.
It's going to be an interesting weekend of baseball. Looks like Toronto is going to be tied with Baltimore going into the last weekend of the series.
Yeah, Baltimore's up 4-0 in the 8th inning. Two balls, one strike.
Who scares you, Tom, in the American League?
I think Texas. Texas would scare me, partly because of their pitching. We know that Cole can pitch in big moments in the postseason. And I also like their offense. So to me, Texas is the team that scares me. I hate to say it. I know we talked last night. You were excited about the Indians. You thought maybe.
Well, I'm excited for the Indians because I think it was important for the franchise to be back in the playoffs.
I agree with that.
The Red Sox scare me.
So yeah, Red Sox are probably the team that scares a lot of folks.
If Price could ever win the playoffs.
Runner goes, pitches line, caught by Cesar Hernandez, and he will double up Jace Peterson. Well, that is a huge break for the Phillies here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So a double play. And Blake Lally will pinch in. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play. Right play at the right time.
Yep. Right place at the right time, too, at second baseman. Cesar Hernandez, line drive. Pitcher's best friend. That's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by local Hyundai dealers.
So Lally hitting under 100 this year in the big leagues. And it's 1-0 to him. Colementor did not walk anybody. He hit one guy. That was Freddie Galvis. But he did not walk anybody. And the 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0.
So I imagine the Seattle Mariners will be scoreboard watching, knowing that they have a chance to gain ground on the Blue Jays.
Well, that is true. They play Oakland later on. That starts at 10 minutes after 10 Eastern time. 3-1. I think they're intriguing. If they get to the wild card, I would think Felix Hernandez will have to have pitched before that.
I think he pitched yesterday. 2 days ago.
I believe he did. So that means he's set up for Sunday, potentially. He pitched 2 days ago.
Yes.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Cano's having an MVP kind of year at second base. Kyle Seager is doing the same.
Detroit's probably scoreboard watching from their hotel room going, or actually they're probably on the way here.
I think they're in the air.
Saying, what if?
Yeah, if you think about it too, the Indians probably don't want to play on Monday either, because they probably want their pitching to be lined up for whomever they face. Now their series isn't slated to start until October 6th.
But think Detroit, though. Detroit can come all the way down here to Atlanta.
Right.
Maybe have to go back to Cleveland. Maybe head to Seattle.
Detroit. They had to go to Detroit.
Or Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit, sorry. And then maybe head back to.
Cody Ashley misjudged that liner. And Lally will get to second base with a 2-out double. Well, here comes Pete Buchanan. That's going to be it for Michael Marriott with a runner at second base and 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Michael Marriott walked 1, allowed 1 hit. And watch the line drive fall into the hands of Cesar Hernandez. We'll be back right after this. As he helps bring you all the highlights and analysis from tonight's ball game, watch Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies postgame live following the final out here on CSN. Luis Garcia will take over for Michael Marriott here in the 7th inning. Chase Darno is going to come on to pinch run for Lally at second base. Alex Smith will stay in the ball game. Maybe they put Ender Inciarte up. There is Chase Darno pinch running. So Alex Smith, who is 0 for 3, 2 for 10 in the series, will face Luis Garcia here in the bottom of the 7th. Inside 1-0. Command has certainly been an issue for Luis and really the Phillies bullpen tonight. They've issued 4 walks. They've allowed just the 1 run though. 2-0.
If you ever notice with Garcia, when he misses into left-handers or low and away to right-handers, which says he gets around on the baseball a lot. Like he doesn't miss up and away to left-handers or low and away to left-handers. He usually pulls everything when he misses.
Ground ball right side. And Hernandez throws out Malik Smith. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. So we played 7 here in Atlanta. The Phils relying on their bullpen and now relying on the top of the order when we come back. by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By Jefferson. Call 800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. And by Chevrolet, visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. 1-1 game, top of the 8th inning. The final time these two teams will face off. Final time the Phillies will be here at Turner Field. Ballpark will close on Sunday for baseball. And the Phillies, next time they face the Braves, they'll be in a brand new ballpark. I guess traffic-wise, it's probably about 45 to an hour from here, depending on what time of day or night you're traveling.
Oof.
Here's Ramirez, 3.86 ERA, 2-2 record. At the intersection of I-75 and 285. Cesar takes outside, 1-0. Cesar's 0 for 2. He sacrificed his last time. I think he tried to hold up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kroll, the lefty. Mauricio Cabrera, the right-hander. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Did they put another mound out in the bullpen, like another pitching slab? They have 3 slots out there. Is that probably because they expanded the rosters in September? I don't remember seeing there being 3 slots. That's a traffic jam if they have 3 guys warming up at one time. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Janmar Gomez loosening up for the Phillies. Get the Janmar time a little early tonight. 2-2. Couple close pitches. Cesar, eagle eye. And a line drive center field base hit. Cesar Hernandez is aboard. And the Phillies begin the 8th inning with the leadoff hitter on first base. Freddie Galvis is coming up. Time to get caught up on what's going on around baseball. Here's Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. It's our greater coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. And the Yankees, well, they honored David Ortiz today at the stadium, Yankee Stadium, and they honored him with a little pregame ceremony. They gave him a couple of gifts. How about this, guys? An oil painting of David Ortiz, kind of donning his cap at Yankee Stadium that was painted specifically for him. And also a leather-bound book that was bound of all letters, handwritten letters from some of the Yankees' all-time greats. They are the 2 gifts that David Ortiz received today. Mariano Rivera presented him with the book, and I just think that is one of the coolest gifts that anybody could have gotten. You can imagine some of the names that are in that leather-bound book that David Ortiz is taking home. So very cool ceremony for him tonight. And Daniel Murphy of the Washington Nationals, we are told, will probably not play again for the regular season. They are looking for him to be ready by the beginning of the postseason, which is October 7th for the Washington Nationals. He is still dealing with that strained glute muscle that he has had for the last couple of weeks. So you got to take care of your glutes, guys, and he will not be playing for at least a couple more days until the postseason starts. They don't want to mess around with that.
How about Murph pointing to the glute with his notebook?
Well, yeah. Everybody should know where the glute is, and everybody should take care of them.
That leather-bound book is actually a very innovative idea. As that ball is bounced over to Freddie Freeman at second, and that's all they'll get. They'll get Cesar, the lead runner. I don't know whose idea it was, but it was very smartly done.
Whenever I say leather-bound book, I think of Ron Burgundy. I don't know if everybody else does, but I do.
Now they do.
Yeah. But that said, I just think that is one of the coolest things.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Very classy. Brian Snitker's out to the mound. Ramirez will exit the game. They'll bring in Ian Kroll to face Odubel Herrera. So pitching change here at Turner Field. Phillies and the Braves tied up at 1. And we'll be back with the left-hander Ian Kroll right after this. Final games of the 2016 season will take place this weekend at Citizens Bank Park. 3 games against the Mets tomorrow night at 7:05. Robert Gesellman will pitch tomorrow for the New York Mets. The Mets had toyed with the idea of having Bartolo Colon pitch, but they're going to go with Gesellman, and he'll be opposed by Alec Asher. Saturday's a 1:05 start. Sundays at 3:05. Fan Appreciation Day. 2017 Phillies schedule Fathead free to all fans. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Speaking of final games, tonight is the final game of the season for our outstanding director, Ray Tipton, finishing his 34th year directing Phillies baseball. 34th year. We are very fortunate to have the directors that we have with Phillies baseball. And, Tip has been not only a great confidant, but also is outstanding at what he does. So we're thankful to have him.
Very.
Here is Odubel.
The man loves eggs.
Not happy when we don't have eggs on Sunday morning. We're going to get him a chicken for Christmas. Throw over the first base and Galvis is back. He's happier now that he can tell the guy from DC that slip him a few bucks and I'll make him some eggs in the back. Just can't tell anybody. So the throw over and Galvis is back. Fastball way upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Odubel Herrera. Over the screen, out of play behind home plate. 2-1 to Odubel Herrera. Phillies need some clutch hits right here. They have 7 hits tonight, but of those 7, all are singles. So at a Major League scoreboard, they have suspended the Cubs and the Pirates at 1. The game has ended in a tie. And that's because of rain. Pirates have already been eliminated from the wild card race. So each team is going to have a tie in the standings. No one can catch the Cubs for best record, so that doesn't matter. Odubel fouls it, and it's 2-2. It's been over 10 years since they've suspended a game because of rain. Now, if that game meant something, they would probably reconvene on Monday to play 3 innings. It's kind of like the Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes, but they don't have Jeff Jenkins.
They don't. Probably pick him up. Just won't be added to the postseason roster. Odubel strikes out. 2 outs. Ian Kroll thought he was done. Well, he is done. He thought the inning was over. Brian Snitker is coming back out with Tommy Joseph due to bat. He's going to go get a right-hander to face Tommy Joseph. So pitching change. We're tied up at 1, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll be back after this. Stay with Tommy Joseph with the new pitcher out of the mound, Mauricio Cabrera, for the Atlanta Braves. Cabrera, 2.84 ERA. He has a 4-1 record. I guess the way things set up for Brian Snitker is that he's going to use his closer in the 9th inning no matter what.
Mauricio Cabrera's scouting report. I love saying these numbers. Fastball 99 to 103. Who cares about the rest?
Yep. Sometimes you think he's crazy to throw the rest. He does have 17 walks. We pointed that out the other day.
Yeah. But he also has a very good curveball. We saw it the other day. He wasn't afraid to throw 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Throw over to first base. And Galvis is back. outside, 1-0. Tommy tonight is 1 for 3. Singled his first time up, fielder's choice in the third, and then flied out to center field his last time up. That was a 3 that he put down for this next pitch. Runner goes, pitches high, throw to second base on one hop, not in time. Good spot for Freddie Galvis to steal. That's his 17th stolen base of the year. 2-0 to Tommy Joseph.
Good pitch to run on. Mauricio has a big leg kick. Freddie had a nice jump. Good throw, would have been close. 3 more, Freddie.
Two and two without throwing more than the one fastball. First pitch that he threw was a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Missed his spot on that pitch. And Joseph fouls it back. It remains 2-2.
Missed the spot, but he could get away with it because he throws. What was that pitch? 99?
99 miles an hour. And a liner out toward left field, right at Matt Kemp. Well, he hit it on the nose, but Kemp is there. Phillies leave 1. They get 1 base hit in the inning. We move to the bottom of the 8th now. It's the Phillies 1 and the Braves 1. All-time leaders in home runs is Ryan Howard, and batting average at Shane Victorino, and hits It's Jimmy Rollins. In wins, it's Cole Hamels. This being the final game the Phillies will play here at Turner Field. Only 3 more left after this for the Braves. They play the Tigers this weekend. We're tied at 1. Genmar Gomez will take over as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Dansby Swanson, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Kemp due up. Swanson is 1 for 3. Tied the ball game up with a home run his last time up. One-third of an inning for Luis Garcia. They got the ground out to end the inning, the end of the 7th. Outside corner 0-2. That's a pitch right there that Genmar hasn't gotten a lot, but he needs to get in order to be effective.
Yeah, that was a better one there. It was a tighter slider where he trying to overthrow it a little bit, drops a little. His arm angle just a hair, and it gets a lot bigger.
Way outside, 1-2. So it remains 1-2 to Dansby Swanson. Outside again, 3-2. Had to come in with a fastball there at 92, and Swanson fouled it away. It's so important to get Swanson here because you've got Freeman on deck and then Matt Kemp, the heart of this order. And Swanson's got decent speed too. You and I were talking before the ball game about Genmar Gomez and where he was at the start of this month, ERA wise, and where he is right now. It's remarkable the amount of runs that he's allowed to bring his ERA to 4.35. All 4. I mean, this is a guy who should have been, could have been on the All-Star team and was on his way to 40 saves. Freddie Freeman is now the batter.
Oh, it's remarkable when. And we all know he has that good two-seam fastball, and when you start trying to be too fine with that sinker, or trying to pick that corner, you continue to miss. But I think you made a good point. It's that slider where he's had a hard time in September with it.
Really has. Some people wonder, is he tired? I mean, he could be. I mean, look at his second half. 0-2 with a 7.09 ERA. 2.59 ERA in the first half. And when we say tired, I mean, it could be more fatigued than tired. I guess it's part of the same family.
Yeah, and I think what's causing Genmar to have a tough September is is just being able to locate his fastball. 7 2/3 this September. He's given up 18 hits. He's only walked 3 guys, but he's getting behind.
Which means he has to come in with that fastball, like we saw with Swanson, and Swanson fouled it away. One ball, 2 strikes to Freddie Freeman. 30-game hitting streak, 46-game on-base streak on the line. Franchise record is 33-game hit streak. And that was established by Dan Uggla. The 46-game on-base streak is shy of Gary Sheffield's record, which was 52. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Freeman. Outside, 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Freeman strikes out. 1 out here in the 8th inning. 10 strikeouts for Phillies pitching.
Good fastball, good late fastball. Freddie Freeman swung right underneath it.
And Matt Kemp, who is 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. He's also walked tonight. He will be the hitter with a runner at first base. Because he might have called that a strike initially, backed off. Out to right field. That is well hit. Altair going back toward the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Swanson's going to score. He's already around third. Matt Kemp pulls into second. It'll be an RBI double, and the Braves take a 2-1 lead. .39th double, I should say, for Kemp this year. You know, Matt, I don't know if Altair had played that differently, if he had played it off the wall instead of getting close to the wall, if he would have been able to stop Swanson from scoring. But it just kept going.
Yeah, well, the problem is you think you can make the play.
Correct.
You know, and you don't want to give up on a ball. Last thing you want to do is for that ball to hit the warning track. But I agree with you, though. If he plays it off the wall,
maybe. I don't know. Swanson can really run.
It's quick.
So now they're going to walk Markakis. Walk him intentionally. That puts runners on first and second with 1 out, and they'll face Anthony Recker. So it's a 2-1 ball game. And we have said this quite often, keep it at a 1-run deficit at this point. Make life a bit easier. There is ball 4.
He kind of peeks to see where he is. And the first time he peeks, he should realize that he's not close enough to the ball.
Edner Inciarte has come in to pinch run for Matt Kemp.
But it's so easy for us to say that sitting here because
it's a split-second decision.
Your first thought is, I need to make this play. I need to go and make a play for my team right here.
Anthony Recker is 1 for 2. So here's the Inciarte. You got Markakis at first. Inciarte runs well. And Recker fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1.
I will say this, and I didn't watch them before Matt Kemp came up, but when Swanson was on first base with the leadoff walk, you're supposed to back up even farther in the outfield, so a ball doesn't get over your head to prevent the runner at first base from scoring. It's almost the same situation, tie ball game in the 9th inning.
And that ball got a piece of Anthony Recker, and that loads up the bases. Loads him up for Jace Peterson. Been a long time, Matt, since we've seen something like this with Genmar, with a pitcher that has had that kind of success. Long time. I think you're so used to seeing hitters sometimes go through these ruts where they, light it up for a period of time and then, I don't want to say come back down to reality, but
No, I mean, they scuffle.
They scuffle. So now Jace Peterson. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch is outside, 1-0. David Hernandez throwing in the pen. Two and 0 to Peterson. They try to appeal. I think this may be the final game for Genmar Gomez.
I was thinking that earlier.
Line drive, base hit it to right field. 1 run will score. Going to third is Markakis. Station to station baseball. It's now 3-1 Braves. Pete's on the phone just to check and see if Hernandez is ready. A.J. Ellis is going to buy some time. Well, here comes Pete. He's coming up the stairs. No, he stopped and started talking to Bob McClure. I guess they're going to let him face Rio Ruiz. They will. Looked like he was heading out. Rio Ruiz lined into a double play as last time. The infield is in with 1 out. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Chopper right side. Oh man, miscommunication. It goes right between Hernandez and Joseph. 2 runs are going to score. It's going to be a 2-run single for Rio Ruiz. And the Braves have tacked on a couple more. It's 5-1. You got to be able to communicate a little bit better. You got the infield in.
I can honestly say that's the first time in my career that I've seen 2 infielders
in the same. I mean, both had a chance to get to it.
And lack of communication. It looked like Tommy held up for a second because of the runner, but the ball's going to be, that has to be made.
Yeah, I mean,
someone has to make that play.
Someone. That's the thing. I mean, you would like Joseph to make it because he's doesn't have to make as much of a move to then go home. But somebody's got to make that play. 5-1 Braves. Pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. Braves still one man down. Runners on first and third. And David Hernandez is going to come on to take over for Genmar Gomez. Gomez is charged right now with 4 runs. He's responsible for the 2 runners on base. Jace Peterson's over third. And Rio Ruiz is at first. And Emilio Bonifacio is going to pinch hit for the pitcher. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Sometimes you look at these games and you say to yourself, I can't believe that an inning like this happens. Started with the leadoff walk to Dansby Swanson. Then they get Freddie Freeman swinging on strikes for the first out. You would deem him the toughest hitter in this lineup. Up high, 1-2. Ball, 2 strikes. Got him. 2 outs. And now the 9th man to bat in this inning. Mallex Smith will be the batter. One and 2 to Mallex Smith. Breaking ball that's hit foul over the Phillies dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mallex Smith. Runner at third, runner at first. 4 runs are in for the Braves here in the bottom of the 8th inning. RBI double by Matt Kemp is the difference right now. An opposite field double. And then you can tack on the 2-run single by Rio Ruiz. There's also a single by Peterson. Runner goes from first. Pitch is taken outside. So a stolen base. Two balls, two strikes. Breaking ball and a strike three call. Back-to-back Ks by David Hernandez. 4 runs score in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Atlanta Braves. The last game for the Phillies here at Turner Field. Can they find any magic? We'll find out when we come back for the top of the 9th. Back to 1 to the Atlanta Braves. Coming up after the ball game, Tommy Green's going to try to break down that bottom of the 8th inning. On Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post Game Live. It's all coming up after the final out tonight between the Phils and the Braves. Alex Smith goes over to left field as Ender Inciarte comes into play center field for the Braves. Came on a pinch run for Matt Kemp earlier. Jim Johnson will be the new pitcher. This is not a safe situation. He was, though, warming up. And warming up for a while, so I guess they figured they'll just let him go. Braves are trying to finish off a sweep of the Phils. Franco swings at the first pitch. 1 out. I'm not saying you need to take a strike, but we got to swing at a better strike than that. So 1 away here in the 9th inning. And Cody Ashe will come up. First pitch fastball to Ashe is inside. Two balls and no strikes. There's a strike to Cody Ashe, 2-1. Ashe is struck out looking. He's popped out to short. He's flied out to left field. Little tapper foul, 2-2. Matt, this is our final game for 2017.
Yep.
Me and you. You're off to Canada. not right away.
You're going to be 17 or 16?
2016. Did I say 17? I was looking ahead. Breaking ball, strike 3 call. You're heading to Canada after this weekend. You're going to be around this weekend, though, for Ryan Howard, right?
I'm going to be around this weekend.
Yep.
I got some hitting clinics going on.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Hit Zone.
Philadelphia Hit Zone.
I'll be over there taking some swings and teaching some swings.
Here is A.J. Ellis.
And I'll be around all weekend for the last series.
Well, I don't want to speak for everybody back at the production cabinet, but I can speak for Murph and let you know that it's been a pleasure once again having you with us this year. You did an outstanding job.
Thank you.
I wish there were more raps where you would throw the ball up and whack it, which you usually do when the Phillies win, but can't have everything.
No, it's been a joy, that's for sure.
1 ball and 1 strike. Next year we're going to get you a telestrator that you can keep with you in the room so you can draw different things. Excellent telestrator. There's the 1-1 to Ellis. That one's hit back toward the middle, a base hit. So A.J. Ellis has 2 hits tonight. A 2-out single. And here comes Aaron Altair. A.J. Ellis heads to second base. A little defensive indifference. I wish they'd give him a stolen base just for you one last time. What? What are you going to say? Upstairs, 2-0.
That's not a stolen base, but Ruiz's is.
Rio Ruiz?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was being held out. 3 balls, no strikes. Three and 1 to Aaron Altair. Altair singled in the 5th inning, lined out, flied out as well. And a line drive base hit it to center field. Ellis is around third, and he's going to score. It's now a 5-2 ball game. Second hit of the night for Aaron Altair. All right, so a little fight left in the Phils, and Jimmy Paredes will be the batter. He's going to come up to pinch hit. Paredes has been the Phillies' best pinch hitter this year. Ten for 40. There's a foul ball, so Altair goes back to first. Goes again, pitches in the dirt, and Altair will get to second base.
On a stolen base.
Defensive indifference.
You're down by 3. Dumb rule.
The dirt again. 2-1. Jim Johnson looked back to the mound that time. Anthony Recker's going to head out to chat with him. In the dugout, Ryan Howard has a bat and a helmet on. I think we kind of just told Cesar Hernandez if Paredes gets on, then Howard is going to bat. 2-2. What a rip that was. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Paredes. Inside, ball 3.
You might see that pitch again.
Try to get it closer to the plate, though, but let him think that it's the same pitch.
Yeah, it freezes left-handed hitters. It's a great pitch as long as the umpire doesn't give up on it.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Paredes. Breaking ball is swung on and missed. And the Braves have swept out the Phillies as they win tonight 5-2, getting 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And this road trip where the Phils have given up 68 runs finally comes to a close.